Okay, folks, welcome. We're going to try to do a little more Hebrew today. I've been trying to discipline myself to do at least, if I could do, an hour a day, other than maybe Shabbat, that would really improve my skills and put more material out there too at the same time for all of you guys. So basically, I've been alternating between these three programs, and all three of these programs are at the intermediate level. And so today I'm going to work a little more on this Learn Hebrew Level 4 Intermediate Level Volume 1. So there's 25 lessons. And in this program, each lesson is basically a conversation, and then they break down the conversation into its grammatical points. And they use each word in the vocabulary in a different way. And so it can be very useful to see other contexts in which it can be used. And before I get started here, let me knock these out and make sure that my stream is going properly. Let's see here. Should have a new one here. There we go. All right. Yep, we're good. All right, guys. So basically we left off. I usually highlight where I leave off here. So I'm going to get rid of this here, delete that. And okay, so basically, previously we looked at this list of these various forms of pronouns. English Hebrew transliteration. So we have OT, we have OTKA for you. OTek would be like you, feminine singular. Him would be OTO. Her would be OTA. Us would be Otenu. Otchem for you all, Otchen for you all, feminine plural. Otam, them would be like a mixed plural or masculine plural. And then Otan would be feminine plural. Okay, so basically we're going to talk about this little thing here, the et, and how that works. So further examples of et plus personal pronoun from the dialogue. Okay, so we have Havarot Shel Liel. So the friends belonging to Liel. Let's see. That's a note. OT. Okay, I'll look at that one real quick here. Havarot Shel Liel Matzapornon. Let's see. That's that long word there. It's going to take me a little bit to get that really memorized.
החברות של ליאל מעצבנות. החברות של ליאל מעצבנות.
It's almost like Metz Venot.
החברות של ליאל מעצבנות.
Metz Venot. Look at that right there. Metz Venot. Okay, so it means annoying. And then Oto would be like to me. So Leo's friends annoy me. Then we have Otogam. So this course is the masculine singular, him too. All right, so a simple sentence with et plus personal pronoun. Okay, so we have ani roe oto. So I, let's see, it has to do with see, him. Let's see, this is made. That's right, standing. Leyad hadelet. Okay, so I am standing to the door. Hadelet is the door. Hadelet. Okay, then we have hu shema otech. Okay, so he is listening to, let's see, yeah, shomei, that's right. This is listening to her. He is listening to her. Otech, probably. Let's bring this down a little bit here. There we go. He hears you. That's right. He hears you. Et lo. Let's see. Et lo. There. You do not. I bait. Take a look at that one. At lo haibeta. See if we can. I like this program because it's giving me a lot of new vocabulary.
את לא האיבט.
Haibet.
את לא האיבט.
Okay, so it's et lo haibet. Looks like latzok. Latzok. Yeah, that's it.
את לא האיבט לצעוק. את לא האיבט לצעוק.
Haibat latzok.
את לא האיבט לצעוק.
Yeah, at lo haibat latzok. Okay, so you shouldn't have shouted. So who shoma? No, shomea probably. Who shomea? Oh, take. Okay, so let's take a look at this down here. He hears you, you don't have to yell. That's right. Okay, so Hamora. This is going to be Hamora, probably Malamadat. That has to do with teaching. Hamora, Malamadat, Otenu, Historia. Okay, so
המורה מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
Melomedet,
מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
Otanu.
המורה מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
Otanu Historia.
המורה מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
Okay, so Melomedet Otanu. Okay, this is not Otanu, it's Otanu Historia. Okay, so it's got to be a female teacher because it's Hamora and it's using Melamedet.
המורה מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
Melamedet.
המורה מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
Okay, so Hamora Melamedet. Okay, so this Dalet tells me it's feminine singular. This Hey tells me, or the Kamets, that basically you don't have the benefit of, so basically the Hamora, there would be like a Kamets here. Okay, so that would tell you that that's feminine singular. And so this tav then is in the verb is a feminine form. So you put the mora with the melomedet.
המורה מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
Melomedet itanu historia. Okay.
המורה מלמדת אותנו היסטוריה.
So just by that, we can tell it's a female teacher in the singular sense. All right, so cultural insight, making friends in Israel. There are many places that Israelis make friends in Israel. The first place is, of course, in school. Many people hold on to a few friendships in school. As they grow older, the second and most influential place to make friends is in the army. Israelis tend to hold on to their friendships from the army throughout their lives, often meeting for holidays for an annual get-together with these friends. Other places to make friends include university and at work. Israelis are also open to making friends within their communities and neighborhoods. Neighbors are often friendly with one another and will share meals or cake, coffee together. Another important place to make friends in Israel is in your religious community. For religious Jews, it's important to form relationships with people who share the same beliefs as you do, who share the same beliefs. I think probably they meant to put as you do. Probably a typo. Okay, so what happened to my Israeli check? All right, so now we're on a completely different, this is a completely different lesson now. Okay, so that finishes the previous lesson. So now this starts a brand new lesson. What happened to my Israeli check? Okay, so the old fridge in your Israeli apartment is on its last legs, but you don't have enough money in your account this month to buy a new one. You've been waiting for a check to clear, but that's taking forever. The staff at your Israeli bank must be getting sick of your face by now. All you can do is hope that the check clears before the fridge dies. In this lesson, you'll learn how to use the same verb root in the active and the corresponding passive verb group from an informal conversation between a banker and a customer. Okay, so here is the line by line transcript, standard Hebrew. Now we've got Bankiati. This looks like it's a proper name, so it might have something to do with like a banker. I bet you it's a banker. Let's see if we can get the pronunciation down.
Bankait. Bankait.
Bankait.
Bankait.
Okay, so a banker is bankait. Okay, okay, so shalom ma efshar. So shalom, what efshar? Okay. Shalom ma efshar la'asot. Okay.
Shalom, מה אפשר לעשות?
Okay, so shalom ma efshar la'asot. So shalom, what? So this efshar, this is what efshar. Let's see. So this has to do with doing, making it doing, and this efshar has to do with can. So ma efshar, making it do. What can be done? Bashavilecha hayom. So what can be done for you now today? I think probably is what that's going to say. Bashavilecha hayom. Yeah, that's right.
שלום, מה אפשר לעשות בשבילך היום?
Bishvilecha.
שלום, מה אפשר לעשות בשבילך היום?
Bishvilecha.
שלום, מה אפשר לעשות בשבילך היום?
Bishvilecha. It's really a quick one, isn't it? So this one it has to do with like what can be done for you now? What can I do for you now? This is the doing part here, and this is the now part. And then hayom is today. Okay, so Gadi says, here's Gadi, this is the customer. Ani katavti, let's see, I write, it has to do with writing. Ani katavti, sik, lefni. Okay, let's get, that's right.
אני כתבתי.
That's right. Ani katabti is I wrote, and that's in the past tense. So ani katabti, it's going to be, let's see here.
אני כתבתי ציק.
That could be, I think that seek there is a transliteration of, well, it's not quite a transliteration, but I would say it's an approximation of like a check. And then lifnei chodesh. Yeah.
אני כתבתי ציק לפני חודש.
Okay, so this lifnei it means before, and then chodesh has to do with month. Okay, so aval, but lo, this looks like ha-i-aviru oto. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Aval lo ha-aviru oto. Okay, that has to do with but. Okay, so this let's see, but lo, this has to do with forwarding. Oh, to me. Or it could be, let's see, it was not forwarded.
אני כתבתי ציק לפני חודש, אבל לא העבירו אותו. אני כתבתי ציק לפני חודש, אבל לא העבירו אותו.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is knock out just distill it down to these two right here. This is the two in question that I'm going to.
העבירו אותו.
העבירו אותו. Okay, so just by itself, it's moved it. So it could be let's see, I wrote a check before the month, but it's not, it hasn't moved or now this one I want to double check and see what the translation is they have, just to get an idea what's going on here. Where's the English translation? Okay, so we've got the romanization. That's the transliteration. We need the actual translation. Yes. Yeah, maybe it's way down. It's probably way down here, I bet you. Just want to see what that second line is. Doesn't look like they put the in this chapter, it doesn't look like they put the translation for us, except in bits and pieces like in here. So I'm just gonna do the best I can to try to figure this out. Okay, so he says, so I wrote a check before a month. In other words, a month ago. Of all, but there was no, it did not forward to me. It did not forward to me. Yeah, it would make more sense if he said, I got a check though, right? Ani katavti tzik lifnei hodash.
אני כתבתי ציק לפני חודש.
It is pronounced zik. Look at that. Oh, that's got to be a check. Let's see, I wrote a check. Lifnei, before a month. Okay, so aval, but there was no Iviru Oto. It wasn't forwarded to me. It wasn't forwarded to me. Let's see here. Let's see what the next one is. Maybe it'll become more clear from the context. So we have bankit. I think that's what that is. Bankit. Yeah, banker.
בנקאית.
Bankait.
בנקאית.
Okay, I'll have to get that programmed in my mind. Bankait. That's banker. Okay, so Ba'eza, I think that's Ba'eza. Ba'eza.
באיזה.
Oh, it's Ba'eze.
באיזה.
Okay, so Ba'eze, remember in modern Hebrew, there is no vowel pointing. So it's a guessing game. Everything has to be memorized. That's why Hebrew, along with Chinese, is considered two of the most difficult languages to learn in the world. This modern Hebrew has no vowel pointing. Ba'eze.
באיזה.
Okay, Ba'eze. Let's see. Ta'orecha. Ta'orecha. There we go. There we go. It has to do with the date.
באיזה תאריך.
Tariq.
באיזה תאריך.
Ba'eze Tariq. Okay, so this is Tariq. Has to do with the date. So it's like, what date? Ba'eze Tariq. Ashik. So that sounds like this sounds like the check again. Niktav. Hashik niktav. I think they might have what a mistake here. This should be a zadi. In what date was the check written on? That's what makes more sense.
באיזה תאריך הצ'ק נכתב?
Check niktav.
באיזה תאריך הצ'ק נכתב?
Okay, so on what date? So we've got the date here is the check. See, they made a mistake, put a sheen there. There should have been a zadi there. That's a printing error. Niktab, written on. Okay, so this is the banker asking, what date was the check written on? Okay, so Gadi says, let's see. Behamishi. I think Bahamishi is, I think that's 3, if I remember. So on the 3rd, Bayoli. That might be a transliteration of July. Bahamishi Bayoli. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's the 5th of July. Bahamishi Bayoli.
חמישה ביולי.
Bahamisha. It should be Hamishi. Oh. Is it interesting that in a Hebrew text they're using English words for the month? They're not using Hebrew months. Look at all the infiltration of Anglicization in the Hebrew language. Isn't that something? The incredible impact of English words on the language itself in Israel. Okay, so
בחמישי ביולי.
okay, Bahamishi Bayuli. Okay, so it is Bayuli. So it's almost like this. This is a shurik. So it's like this. So it equals U. So it's like Bayuli. So it's like but July, which is a clear transliteration of the word July. And Bahamishi,
בחמישי ביולי.
okay, so that's Thursday. So, but I think it's the 5th. I think it's also the 5th because, okay, so you got Shabbat and you've got Yom Rishon, that's 1. And then you got Monday 2, Wednesday. Let's see. Monday's 2. Tuesday's 3. And 4. Isn't that something? Bahamishi. Oh, that says Thursday.
בחמישי ביולי.
It says Thursday of July. Okay, all right. But I think it's probably, this looks like the 5th.
בחמישי.
Yeah, Bahamishi is on Thursday.
בחמישי.
Okay, on Thursday in July, but that doesn't really make sense. Usually people with a date. Let me try.
חמש. חמש.
Yeah, there it is. Hamesh. So it looks like it might be the 5th of July. I'm going to go with the 5th of July because that's how people relate to dates. They give a number and then they give the month because there's 4 Thursdays in a July. So that would make sense to say that that's the Thursday in July. Okay, so Banki. Try to get that memorized. Bankit. Right.
בנקאית.
Bankait.
בנקאית.
All right, Bankait. I'm going awful slow through this because a lot of this is new vocabulary for me. See. Now look at this one here. Avud Isa. I think it's Isa, probably. Avud Isa. Avod Isa. Asak. Okay, so it has to do with business. Niktav, Atik. I got the check right. Okay, so it's niktav. It's not niktav, it's niktav.
עבור איזה עסק נכתב הצ'ק?
ASIC. Okay, so avo has to be, this is like this is the business. I think this is business here. Aze, business what? Or was asok.
עבור איזה עסק נכתב הצ'ק?
Oh, wait a minute here. We gotta have avo, not avor.
עבוד איזה עסק נכתב הצ'ק?
Okay, so this is no, this is an avor, not an avod.
עבור איזה עסק נכתב הצ'ק?
Okay, so avor, eze, esek. So what business was the check written for? What business was the check written for? Okay, so soak. Looks like it's probably a paycheck for an employee. Now, niktav is the written. And hachek, that's transliteration of the check. Okay, so this has got to be a suck. It's got to be the business.
עבור איזה עסק נכתב הצ'ק?
Esek is the business. That's got to be the business. Okay, and then these two here, avor eze. So let's break those down.
עבור איזה?
Okay, so for which. For which. So this has got to be for. And then eze is which. Yeah, so eze by itself, let's knock that out and find out what that is by itself.
איזה?
Okay, so it is which. That's right. Eze. And notice it uses what's like this. It uses a surrey. Let's see here. And so let's see, eze, and then it uses looks like segol. There it is, if the vowel pointing was there. So eze. Okay, so which check? Let's see, for which business? ASIC. A lot of these are new, so I'm going over this, I'm belaboring this just to get practice.
עסק. עסק.
So it's like ASIC.
עסק.
So it's basically Zere. So this kind of helps me to have the vowel pointing to kind of put it in my head. Zere, and then the samic is segol, asek. And then you have a kof. Okay, so asek, niktav, atik, atik. All right, so, okay, so what? So this is the banker asking this stuff. Gadi says, lo siporim. Okay, so the siporim, I think, is story, maybe. Lo siporim. No, it's sofrim. I bet you it's sofrim.
לא ספרים.
Okay, lo siporim. Okay, so no book, not books, not books. Now, I wonder why they've got this mark here. This is kind of curious too. Oh, this is the name of the business. So I wonder if it's something like Lysporim. So it's like the name of the business, Lysporim. So so this is obviously we don't know if there's a holem here. I don't think there is. It could be Lais Borim. It's the name of a business. Okay, so Bankait. I think that's probably, get that right now. Bankait. All right. Bankait. There we go.
בנקאית. בנקאית.
Bankait. Okay, so the banker says, what does he say? So good. Ani, let's see. Looks like Bodeh. Tov. Ani Bodeh. Let's see what this one is.
טוב, אני בודקת. טוב, אני בודקת.
So Bodeket. Bodeket is good, I'm checking. So that's like, in other words, looking into it. Ani Bodeket.
טוב, אני בודקת.
Okay, so Tov Ani Bodeket. Rak Shaniya. So only, this probably has to do only a minute. Give me a minute, probably. Rak Shaniya.
רק שנייה.
Rak Shaniya. It's like,
רק שנייה.
it's like only a second. It's like, it literally means only a second. Rak Shaniya. So it's like, give me a second. It would be like colloquial saying in English would be like, give me a minute. Now, we would usually say minute. Or sometimes we would say, give me a second. So it's like, rak shniya.
רק שנייה.
Rak shniya. Okay, so it's like only a second. Basader. Okay, so this is, now he's saying good. I think he's saying, okay, like good. Basader.
בסדר.
Yeah, Basader. Okay, so he found it. Ham. Let's see, they, let's see, this is Hapakido. Let's look at this. Hem Hapakido et Hatik. Okay, that has to do with deposited. Deposited, okay. And it's got to be et hatik. Hatik hayom. Okay, so
הם הפקידו את התיק היום.
hafki.
הם הפקידו את התיק היום.
Okay, so hem hafkido. Look at that one. Hafkido is deposited. Okay, so and this is they in reference to the whoever is handling putting the money in the account. Not necessarily the teller, but it's whoever is in back on the computer transferring money into the account. So hem hapakido.
הם הפקידו את התיק היום.
Oh, it's a fe. Hifkido.
הם הפקידו את התיק היום.
Okay, so it's a fe. So it's a f. Hifkido. Now this et is untranslatable. Hatik would be the check. Hayom would be today. Okay, so aval, but adayin. Okay, so let's take a look at that one. But adayin, aval adayin lo mofia.
עדיין לא מופיע.
Yeah.
עדיין לא מופיע.
Okay, so but aval, but it's this has to do with looks like Adayin is still. Of all, still, lo is not. Mofia is showing, has to do with it's not showing up. Shazay, probably Shazay. Shazay Yitza. Yeah, Shazay Yitza. Okay.
עדיין לא מופיע שזה יצא.
Adayin. Okay, so that's Adayin there. Adayin, still. Adayin lo mofia shazay.
עדיין לא מופיע שזה יצא.
Shazay yatsa. Okay, so this is not showing up. Let's see. However, let's see. It doesn't appear. It still doesn't appear that it's out. Let's see. Mahak Shavon Shaka. Mahak Shavon Shaka.
עדיין לא מופיע שזה יצא מחשבון שלך.
Okay, so it doesn't appear that it left your account. So this has got to be yours. And this is the word for account.
עדיין לא מופיע שזה יצא מחשבון שלך.
Okay, so where is the Yitzah? Probably is, literally this is saying not showing up. And this Yitzah probably has to do with appear. We already did this, the appearing one, right? Still not showing up. This Shazah, Yitzah, the two in the question here that I'm trying to break down and figure out. I know that this one is the account, and I know this means to you. Yeah, guys. All right. Okay, so this is a tough one. So it doesn't appear that it left your account. Gadi says, these dogs. Okay, all right, so it doesn't appear that it left your account. This is a really tough one, guys. Okay, so Gadi says, Matai ze yofia. Okay, so Gadi says, Matai ze yofia. Okay, so when will it appear?
מתי זה יופיע?
Okay, so ze is this. And this yofia has to be appear. Matai has to do with when it appear. Matai ze, when this appear. Okay, so bankait. Let's see if I get that right now. Bankait.
בנקאית.
Yeah, bankait. I'm starting to get it memorized now.
בנקאית.
Okay, so bankait. Okay, ze yachak. Okay, this, I bet you that comes from taking. I bet you that's like what, this takes like I think I can figure this out without looking it up. This has to do with taking. And this is like what yamim would be like days. So let me put it in the Google Translate and see if I was right. Ze yachak kama yamim. Sometimes my yamim.
זה ייקח כמה ימים.
Yeah, ze yachak
זה ייקח כמה ימים.
kama yamim. Okay, so that's right. I was right. This has to do with taking. And like what days. So it's literally like what days. In other words, it's saying that it's going to take some days. Going to take some days. Ulai, that's maybe. Mahartayim, let's take a look at that. Ulai mahartayim ze yofia.
אולי מחרתיים זה יופיע.
Okay, so mahoratayim, look at that. Mahoratayim is maybe tomorrow this appears. Maybe tomorrow this will appear. Or the day after tomorrow. Looks like it's the day. Look at this whole thing. It's the day after tomorrow.
אולי מחרתיים זה יופיע.
So they have mahoratayim is like one word for the day after. Okay, so ulai mahoratayim ze yofia. This will appear. So maybe the day after tomorrow it will appear. So it's like today, and then you got tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow.
אולי מחרתיים זה יופיע.
Mahoratayim ze yofia. Okay, maybe the day after tomorrow. Okay, so all right, Gadi says, get rid of our stuff here. All right, so Gadi says, Toda Rabba, thank you very much. Yom Tov Lecha. So this is like day good to you. Yom Tov Lecha. So it's like good day to you. Good day. That'll be translated just as good day, and it's assumed to you. All right, so I really labored to get through that because there was so many new words, and the way it was used, it's a little bit above my level of Hebrew at this point. But it's good for me to be stretched. It's good. If you guys could, there might be people watching this video that are ahead of me, and you figured it out before I did. So I say very good to you, and keep learning. All right, so this is just the transliterations here, but I took care of that because I use Google Translate. Okay, so now we have the Hebrew and the English. So these are the vocabulary words right here. Lik tov has to do with writing. It comes from katav, writing. There's the check, but look at that. They don't want to put it in Hebrew. Lehavir is to transfer. Tariq is a date. Lahikatev. It's just strange that they don't want to put many of these things in Hebrew to be written. To deposit, we got that one. Lehofia, to appear, heshbon. Maratayim, look at that. Maratayim, day after tomorrow. We got that right. Yom tov lecha, have a good day. Okay, so I'm a little bit down on this program because I think it was, in some ways, I think that this Learn Hebrew was kind of sloppy. I've caught a couple mistakes, and they're definitely mistakes. There's some spelling errors, and they're not putting all of the vocabulary list in Hebrew. We really need to see that. So I'm kind of, a little disappointed, but I will say this. I've studied several different programs over the years, and it's rare to find a program, just like it's rare to find a textbook that doesn't have a mistake in it. That's why there's successive updates. That's why you have like 3rd edition, 4th edition, 5th edition on your textbooks in your universities, because they're correcting mistakes. It's very hard to get everything correct the first time around. All right, so let's go on down here to, so we've got this one, leak tov, to write. So now we're going to break down all of these words and find out what, how else they're used. Okay, so let's see here, leak tov. Okay, so ata yahol liktov. So I think this yahol has to do with wanting. Do you want to write? Or maybe it's the can one. I think it's probably can. You can to write. Let's see here. Ata yahol liktov. Okay, yeah, it has to do with can.
אתה יכול לכתוב.
Yeah, so this is the can one. Okay, so yeah, this is can. And this is you, masculine singular, to write. And this is untranslatable. Hashem, the shelka. I think that might be to them. See, wait a minute here. Hashem, the name. So it's like the name belonging to you. Oh, that's what that is. The name belonging to you. So remember, the shell is the possession one. Shelcha. Let's see. Babaksha. Oh, bevakasha. That's what that means. That's like please, bevakasha. Et Hashem shelka bevakasha. Yeah.
אתה יכול לכתוב את השם שלך בבקשה.
Okay, so אתה יכול לכתוב.
אתה יכול לכתוב את השם שלך בבקשה.
השם שלך בבקשה.
אתה יכול לכתוב את השם שלך בבקשה.
Okay, so bevakasha is like well, let's take a look at it by itself. It's like thank you, or you're like you are welcome. It could be used as please. It's
בבקשה.
bevakasha. It's basically a term of civil polity, being polite to someone. Please, can you write your name, please? All right, so that's one other use for liktov, but to write. And remember that there's a lot of verbs that come off of liktov, like katav, like ani katav, I wrote, or hu katav, he wrote, or he katva, she wrote, so on. They all come from those 3-letter roots. We've got a chaf, a tav, and a vet. So you've got katav. So the root would be like this. Okay, so that would be like the shoresh, the root. And there's are multiple variations, multiples. There's like hundreds of variations that come off of that root. But the basic liktov is to write. The root, though, the shoresh would be like katav right here. All right, so, okay, so now we've got stik. Stik is a check. It's hardly a transliteration, is it? I suppose it is technically a transliteration of the English word check, but it's like stik. It's like really quick. Okay, so he katva li sik. So I know this one without looking it up. She wrote li to me a check. So let's double check it. He katva li sik. I'm starting to get the hang of that vocalization.
היא כתבה לי צ'ק. היא כתבה לי צ'ק.
Yeah, check.
היא כתבה לי צ'ק.
היא כתבה לי check. Okay, so she wrote to me a check. That's what that should be. Let's see what the English is down here. Get down to the. I have to go to the next page here. Yeah, she wrote me a check. Okay, so let's look at this one right here. To transfer. Lehavir.
להעביר.
Lehavir.
להעביר.
So there it is. Lehavir has to do with conveying or transferring. Lehavir. So that's like one of those verb forms, and multiples can be taken off of that, just like that leak tov to right. Okay, so we have efshar lehavir. Okay, so efshar, I think efshar.
אפשר.
Yeah, efshar has to do with possible. Okay, so possible to transfer to me. This et is untranslatable. It just tells you where the action is happening, basically. Lehavar. Oh, wait a minute here. I already forgot how to pronounce that. Lehaevir. Lehaevir. There we go. Li et hama'a. Now that butter one, I don't think I've seen that butter one before.
אפשר להעביר לי את החמאה. אפשר להעביר לי את החמאה.
Chema. It's like, so I know what these are for sure. Possible to transfer to me at untranslatable. So let's just knock all those out and figure out that the pronunciation of that last one.
החמאה.
It's like chema.
החמאה.
Chema.
החמאה. החמאה. החמאה.
So it's like hahema. So this is the butter. Remember, these are used in different contexts. Remember these down here? And before, this was used as to transfer money, but it also can be mean to convey. Okay, so can you pass me the butter? All right, so there's that one. Let's take a look at this one here. I think this is Tariq. Tariq is the date. I think that's how it's pronounced. Tariq. Maybe not. Tariq. Oy vey, I didn't get that right.
תאריך.
Yeah, Tariq. And if you were to see the Nikud there, you would see, okay, so it would be like a patak. It would be like a reduced patak. So that would be quicker, Tariq. And the resh, so it would be a hirik. So it would be like that, Tariq. Tariq. Okay, so ma ha-ta'arikh. Okay, so what is the date? Hayom. What is the date today? Ma ta'arikh hayom. So what the date today? Hayom, today. Okay. So now look at this one here. This looks like lahik tab. Lahik tab, to be written. Lahik tab. Let's see. Lahik katab. Getting close here. Okay.
להיכתב.
Oh, it's lahikatev.
להיכתב.
Okay, so remember, all these new words, you have to memorize the phonetic in modern Hebrew. You don't have the benefit of the vowel pointing.
להיכתב.
Lahikatev. It almost sounds like there's a hirik under here, and there's probably a segol under here. Actually, this might be a saray, and this might be a segol. Lahikatev. Now let me see what it looks like.
להיכתב.
Okay, they don't give it to me here in on the Google Translate. They're not including the nikud here. Okay, so this is this looks like hadoach hazeh. Hadoch hazeh niktav.
הדוח. הדוח.
Yeah, hadoch. And this is the report. Now, I don't like to rely on this right here because they take liberties with this stuff. I want to break each word down and figure out, because that's the only way you're going to learn Hebrew, is understand the mechanics. Can't rely necessarily on what they're saying down here, because they are just putting it into vernacular, but you're not seeing how the language is ordered and being used in order to understand the next level. So that's one of the downsides of this program too.
הדוח.
So hadoa hazeh is like the this. So the report, the this. Hazeh niktav. I know that's hazeh. 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 There we go.
הדוח הזה.
Yeah, hazeh. That's what I thought. Hazeh, the this. So it's like the report, the this. Niktav.
הדוח הזה נכתב.
Okay, so so it's like the report, the this, written, all yadai. I think that's all yadi. Yadai has to do with and this look at this one. Hanasi is the president. I recognize that one right away. This is almost like all yad, where it's like about, and this has to do with hand, I think. Yad is like, remember, even the yod is like a closed fist. It looks like a closed fist. So it's ala yadai. Ala yadai hanasi. El yadai. Okay, so it's el yadai. That's what it is.
הדוח הזה נכתב על ידי הנשיא.
No, it is al yadai.
הדוח הזה נכתב על ידי הנשיא.
Okay, so it was written by. So this all has, let me clear this up here. So these are the two right here I'm trying to break down and figure out. I know this has to do with something with hand. And actually, it could have to do with plural hands, yadayim. But so it's written. Double check that.
על.
Okay, so all has lots of uses here. It could be on, could be about, could be to, could be onto, it could be upon, could be above, and it could be by. That's what I thought. Look at all the uses. This word here, this all word, And notice it's got a patak under it. So it's like al. And look at all of these variations depending on the context. So it's, in this case, it's by. And I think that yadai is
Yedei.
okay, yadai. That's what it is. So it's, this is like my hand. So it's like by my hand, hanasi. You see that? How I broke that down? So by my hand, because that's, and which hand is it? Hanasi, right there. Hanasi.
Yedei hanasi. Yedei hanasi.
Yedei hanasi. So look at how Hebrew is. It breaks it right down to hand. You know, in other words, it uses a lot of language that has to do with actual body parts, like regal, like you're walking on foot. Halak barachel, you're walking on foot, or what was that? Letiel barachel, you're taking a trip on foot. Okay, all right, so okay, so let's take a look at this one. This is lahif. This is a deposit.
Lehafkid.
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 Look at that. Lehafkid. To deposit. So this lamed is the to part. And then hafkid has to do with depositing. So let's see how else lehafkid can be used.
Lehafkid.
To deposit. Okay, so we have anaknu, we. By, let's see, this looks like habayim. That's let's see here. Anaknu habayim. Nope, not that. Hayabavim is, I think it's let's see if I can figure out how to pronounce this. High beam, maybe? High beam. No. All right, this is the new one. It looks like it's a chet. Oh, it has to do with must.
אנחנו חייבים.
Hayavim.
אנחנו חייבים.
Look at that. Hayavim. Hayavim. Has to do with must. Okay. I already forgot how to pronounce that one. Lehafakid. 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 There we go.
אנחנו חייבים להפקיד.
Lehafkid.
אנחנו חייבים להפקיד.
Lehafkid. Okay, so we must to deposit at, that's untranslatable. Hakesef, that's the silver. Literally, that says that's the silver. Hazeh, that, this. I think that's like that, this. Ba bank. The in the bank. Ba bank, in the bank. Okay, so let's see how they did. We have to deposit. Okay, so this is must. We must to deposit this money in the bank. Yeah. Hakisaf hazeh. Now, what I want to see is that hazeh one. I think it means literally that, this.
הזה.
Yeah, hazeh. It's like, literally, it's like the, this. Hazeh, thus this. Okay. All right. How about this one? Heshbon. I wonder if it's heshbon. Heshbon.
חשבון.
Yeah, it can mean it can mean an invoice. It can mean an account. Looks like it can even be used in some ways as a bill.
invoice.
Oh,
חשבון.
heshbon. It looks like it's okay, so it looks like it's using segol here, and this is a whole limb, so it's hesh bone, like that. Count. I think this kama is y. No, it's how much? Kama kisif. Okay, so how much? Kama kisif. Yeah, how much?
כמה כסף?
I wonder if it's just by itself.
כמה?
Some, several, sundry, certain. Okay, it can also be used, okay, but if you put it together with kesef, kama kesef. Kesef. There we go.
כמה כסף?
Okay, so kama kesef, yes. So how much there is, lanu, to us, baheshbon. Lanu baheshbon. Well, it's not lanu, it's not anu, it's lanu, to us.
כמה כסף לנו בחשבון?
Okay, literally, in the account, the bank, of the bank. Now, this of is assumed in there in this context. Shalanu, in other words, belonging to us. So look at the, when you break it down, look at how, when you get into the mechanics, look at how more particular and in other words, how more particular is than their translation. But yes, in the vernacular English, they're correct. How much money do we have in our bank account? But you'll never learn Hebrew unless you break everything down like that. That's my opinion. I just don't think that you're going to understand, because any of these words can be used in other contexts and in other sentences. So until you break down the mechanics, you're going to have a hard time in Hebrew. Okay, so already over an hour. You see how many more I got of these left. Get rid of my marks here. We got the day after tomorrow, and then okay, so you know what? I'm going to finish this up. So let's take a look at this one right here. Try to remember what this is. Mahar, I think it's Mahar Taim. Mahar Taim. Yeah.
מחרתיים.
Mahoratayim.
מחרתיים.
But what I'd like to see is that with the Nikud.
מחרתיים.
Mahoratayim. So you know what? It makes me wonder if it's got this right here. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. What is that? I bet you it's this right here. Which is it is a kametz. It's the lower case, it's the lower vowel. It's the what do they call it? I can't off the top of my head. I can't remember exactly what that vowel is called, but that's what it sounds like.
מחרתיים.
Mahoratayim. Now this is definitely probably a kamet, a patak there, because you get that diphthong and then E sound. So it's like A-I, diphthong. Mahoratayim, okay? And then this has got to be a hirik under that second yod. Okay, so
מחרתיים.
okay, so nefgesh mahoratayim. Okay, take a look at that one. Nefgesh mahoratayim.
נפגש.
Nifgash.
נפגש.
Now, notice this. They're using literally meets. But if you say we will meet, then there should be a yod in there. So it should be like this. Nifgash. But I think they might have made a mistake here. They failed to put the yod there.
נפגש.
Nifgash, okay. Because they did include it here. Look at that. And that's something. Nifgash.
נפגש.
Okay, so we will meet. Has to do with we will meet. That noon is taken from anaknu. I remember I've talked a little bit about signal letters. The noon is a signal letter. It's taken from anaknu. We, and then Fagash is meeting. Fagash, meeting. We will meet. And then Mahoratayim is the day after tomorrow. All right. All right, so now we have Yom Tov Lecha. So it's like day good to you. Yom Tov Lecha, day good to you. That's literally what that says. So it's like, have a good day, essentially. All right, guys. I didn't cover as much. I did not cover as much as perhaps I would like to today, but we can keep working at it. I noticed with this one, I don't know why it jumps like that whenever I want to highlight something, so we can start next time. All right, so I think I got a little bit more in working with the language, and so I hope that you guys did too. I hope that some things were explained. I try to break things down in a very painstaking way, because why do I do that? Because in all my years of trying to get a grasp on this language, I've been frequently frustrated over the years because there were gaps, and I never understood how to fill the gaps in understanding, binah, in knowledge, understanding, until I found another grammar that filled that gap in. So what I try to do is just painstakingly break it down as much as I can for you guys with just whatever level of knowledge I have, which is probably at the intermediate stage, and help you guys out there perhaps more in the beginning level. All right, so guys, I'm glad to have spent this time with you. I hope that you got some benefit out of this. And so I will hopefully get back on this. And let's see here. I'm gonna use my Alt Q to, that's the best way to do this. And I will say Lahitro, see you later. Well, it didn't work that time, did it? Okay, let's take a look at this. Alt plus Q. There we go. All right, so end meeting for all.